That's right. I'm exposing myself from the best to worst money decisions I've made for the 7 years that I've been working as an adult, so that you can learn from the mistakes I made when I was a shopaholic to now being the money coach I am today, so that you can use these lessons and make better money decisions. Let's go. Since I've been seeing this trend a lot about tier ranking certain topics, certain interests, might as well tier rank my life decisions. So let's look at the tiers that we have here, from the worst decision to the best decision in my 20s. So starting off with the worst category, which is I blacked out, I guess. So these are the super not mindful money decisions. I just wanted to spend impulsively. Bahala na si Batman. I deserve it. Whatever. I probably blacked out and I spent blindly. And then next, second to the worst, is I probably knew better. This is kind of bad because I know that I should have made a better choice when it comes to my money, but I still made the wrong choice and purchased the thing that turned out to be not a great purchase. And then the next category is kind of in the middle. It's not particularly bad, it's not particularly the best, but I would say that it was a lot of money but worth it. Like, I wouldn't call it like 100% necessary, but it kind of made a difference in my life, and I would probably spend on that again because it was worth it. And then next level, going to the best decision, is what I would say that this is the phase in my life where I tell myself that I have changed, I've grown, and this is a reference. If you know the movie, you know it.
I've changed, I've grown. This is Lyda Magtalas version 2.0.
So I would say this is where I am slowly recovering as a shopaholic already. And then the best decision is what made me the millionaire I am today. So stay tuned for all the purchasing and investment decisions that led me to getting to that first million status in my 20s. Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm excited to expose myself, kind of. Starting off, so here are the images below that represent that certain decision that I've compiled. Let's start off with the one here in the bottom where I don't look so pleased with myself, and this picture represents when I was so stressed in my corporate career at that time, that I would just take pictures of myself feeling really stressed and exhausted, and I would send it to my sister, my older sister. And this represents a decision when I would shop when I was stressed. So retail therapy, food therapy, buying Food Panda almost every day, and probably buying too much skincare every single week. Like, meron akong Shopee delivery every single week. So that picture of mine when I was shopping a lot, I'd probably put it in the I blacked out, I guess, category, because I was really in a tough situation in my life, and we don't do the best decisions when we are stressed and exhausted. So that's in the blacked out category. Next is this one, which is when I decided to invest in a good quality backpack for work, and that is my Tumi bag. And this is one of the best performing videos, most viewed videos in my channel, which is my work bag essentials. And so I would put this, buying my Tumi bag, in the it was a lot but worth it category. This is still the most expensive thing that I ever bought with my hard-earned money when it comes to like a tangible item, but I would say it was a lot but worth it because I still have that bag to this day. I still use it every single day, even though I work from home. So I actually highly recommend like investing in a good quality bag if you use it every day. Next purchase decision, this one at the bottom, this represents my decision to get underarm laser treatment so that I don't have hairs growing in my underarms anymore. I remember kasi, story, when I was in high school, I was always so frustrated about having to shave my armpits all the time. If you know, you know, TMI, but for my girls out there who are just tired of shaving, waxing, it hurts, and it's just a hassle, underarm laser, I highly recommend. And the one I get is from the Wink. So that's why I would put it in the, it was a lot, but worth it. I think I spent like mga 20K, something like that for 12 sessions, if I'm not mistaken, and then I paid it for 6 months. The next decision that we have here is not necessarily a purchase, but a phase in my life when I was so fixated on like increasing my savings, but then it's kind of an unhealthy amount because I was hoarding my savings. Like, I was just like, kasi ito na yung time na probably nagre-recover na ako from my shopaholic days, and so I was just so fixated with building my emergency fund. And that's actually when I posted a video on the importance of having an emergency fund in your 20s. So although that it's so good that I started building my emergency fund and I already had it, I had an unhealthy amount of being a hoarder when it came to savings. So I feel like that's not millionaire status. I would say I would put this one when I started building my emergency fund in the I've changed, I've grown phase in my life, because I was able to save consistently, but at that time I would say I was still anxious about ayoko magalaw yung savings ko, ayoko nakikita siya nagde-decrease, which, if you know, I mentioned in my previous video, it's not always that good if you're anxious also about your savings. If it's not giving you peace of mind, if it's not giving you the freedom to do what you want, to make your dreams happen, then it's not really the most beneficial to you. So that's where I'm gonna put it. Okay, next is we have here when I went on my solo beach trip, which I posted about my 4-step budgeting plan to travel solo. And this is definitely the time when I'm in my, probably I was so close in hitting my first million. And this is, I think this is a good contrast with what I was sharing earlier, that this time around when I decided to travel, I knew that it's something that I've always wanted, and I didn't want to deprive myself. It was a time when I didn't allow money to control me. I didn't feel anxious about money because I knew that spending on this trip is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always dreamt about doing by myself. So I would put this solo travel when I went to Coron, Palawan for 5 days in the what made me a millionaire phase, because that's when I really learned to let go of money and feel good about spending and not feel guilty about it. Next purchase decision we have here is, this picture represents when I would purchase a lot of stainless steel jewelry. And if you watch my previous videos, I stopped doing that because alam ko naman na nangangati ako sa kanya pag pinapawisan ako when I would wear them, because I would somehow I kind of had like a mild allergic reaction to it, maarte yung balat ko, but I still kept buying them because it looked cute. So that's why I would put that picture of myself wearing stainless jewelry, and I had short hair that time, in the face that I would say that I probably knew better. Okay, next purchase decision we have here is when I bought an iPhone 12, and surprisingly, this is what I shoot my videos with right here, right now. And so the only picture I have that shows me using my phone, and I remember it was fairly new then, is this picture when I posted on YouTube about spending habits. So this one, me holding my iPhone 12, I would put it in, I've changed, or I'd put it here. Yeah, I'd probably put it in, it was a lot but worth it. Prior to this, I had my Samsung S10e. I can still remember. If you watch my previous videos, you'd know I had that phone. And I remember that parang gusto ko nang mag-update ang phone because the previous phone I had was really slowing me down. Nagka-crash sa mag-isa. And so it was really hindering my productivity at work. And so I knew that it was time for me to invest in a different phone. Truly, it helps me in being more productive because I use a MacBook also. So having an iPhone synced together is just those subtle things that you don't realize you need when you don't have an iPhone anymore. Okay, next one we have here is when I decided to live independently or live alone, and specifically even during the pandemic. Like, I remember na before the pandemic, I was already living alone, and I decided to go back home with my family for a while because ang gulo-gulo ng pandemic, di mo alam kung ano mangyayari, end of the world na ba, ano na ba? So I decided to go home for the meantime, and that's where I started working from home. But eventually I knew that if I wanted to have more self-growth and really be more focused in starting my own business, that living alone would really, really be beneficial for me. And so if I were to categorize this money decision, because it is a money decision because madaming kadugtong na gastos when you live alone, and it really like increased my monthly expenses. So I would say I would put it in I've changed, I have grown. Okay, next purchase decision that I would choose is the time when I bought 10K worth of headphones, specifically Marshall headphones. I would put it, I probably knew better kasi natatandaan ko, alam ko maganda lang siya suotin. For the aesthetic of it, okay, let's just be real, at that time, nung shopaholic pa ako, hindi ko masyado pinag-iisipan yung mga purchases ko sa buhay. And like, pag tumatagal, wearing those headphones just felt uncomfortable. So that's why to this day, I prefer like the wired earphones when I do my coaching calls, when I watch videos on my laptop. I still prefer the actual wired earphones because it's much more comfortable than the headphones. So past Nik probably knew better, but she did it anyway. So, nabenta ko na yun, guys. Okay, next is, of course, you know, my days when I would shop a lot of makeup. You know, the one I talked to you guys about when I bought 30,000 worth of makeup in a month when I went to the US. So, let's put it in the blacked out category. Obviously, if you watched my past reaction video about this, I literally said when I bought it that I blacked out. Next decision we have here is when, actually let's go here. I think this one is a good one. This one here, this picture of me was, I kind of remember sobrang hilig ko sa black and white and just neutral colors. I kind of still do naman to this day, but I just remember like, I think this picture like represents the time when I was in wanting to be a minimalist. Like, I wanted to be a minimalist. That phase in my life, I was decluttering so many things. I was removing so many clothes that are colored. And so, you'd be surprised, but I would kind of put me being a minimalist before in I probably knew better category. Yung problema kasi if you're like focused on just minimal living and being a minimalist, it's like there's really no clear purpose of it. Like the purpose of it is just like, oh, I want to reduce my stuff and all of that. Okay, great, but like for what? For what purpose? And I think that's what I was missing that time. I didn't know what I was doing it for. Like, yeah, it kind of helped me save and reduce, but then this was the time na yo-yo ako mag-save. Like, yo-yo ako, parang, okay, would get a lot of savings, and then bigla na lang, oh, I wanna be a minimalist, so I'll buy clothes that are minimal. You don't need to be a minimalist to save. Like, you don't have to be a minimal with the stuff you have. It's just more of like, does it add value in your life? Does it really spark joy in your life? Does it really contribute to the life that you want? And for me, that's what I was missing then. All right, next is, here we have, what could be a fun one next? Okay, let's put here me buying my really expensive MacBook M1, MacBook Air M1 here that we have, and I would really put it in what made me a millionaire, because that was a tangible item that really helped me in giving myself proof that because I spent that much on an item, I was really only gonna use it to start my business. So when I bought that item, it was kind of like mentally telling me that I was serious about building a business. It wasn't just a side hustle. That's what allowed me to build the sustainable, profitable coaching business that I have today. Next one here we have is like when I had a phase when I bought a lot of furnitures and decors and stuff for the condo because I've been living on my own. This is the picture, and I would put it here in the it was a lot but worth it category for the time. Like, this was a video of when I did a DIY makeover for my bathroom, and I would say ang dami ko nagastos for the condo. I mean, I bought a couch, I bought this shelf, I bought like the paint in the bathroom, the paintings, and you know, I spent a lot, but it was worth it, I would say, because eventually yung naging lesson ko there is like I had to know when to stop, because I realized now when you get into like the excitement of looking aesthetic, having the aesthetics in your place, sometimes it's like you don't stop because you just keep looking for inspiration. And when I learned to stop and just like appreciate all the things that I've built to decorate the place, it became worth it already. Next is, what can we do next? Okay, I think this one is good. So let's put this up front, which is when I invested in stocks, in Call Financial specifically, it's really what made me a millionaire today, because a huge chunk of the equity value that I have from my stocks is a chunk of my net worth, which I shared in the video about my journey to my first million. So you can check it out here if you want to learn more about it. And this is something that I also teach my clients in how they can earn passive income for the long term, for their retirement, through investing in stocks in like 3 easy steps. Next is, let's go back to the past. This one I want to put up front and let's talk about it. And this is a video I did before, which is like affordable versus luxury makeup, and I bought both of them. And I would put it in the I blacked out, I guess. And this is what the time when I would diet to save money for buying makeup. That's why it's like a blacked out category, because I just remembered na ang best diet ko then, kaya mas payat ako nun eh. Mas payat ako yung mukha ko nun eh. Mas payat ang mukha ko nun. I would diet so that I would save my salary to buy more makeup. Another blacked out purchase, I blacked out purchase, is this one. See, this picture is when I was in Bali and I was wearing this dress. This dress I bought from Taytay, and I had a phase where I would hoard so much clothes from Taytay and Green Hills just so I could have better looking photos on Instagram when I would travel. And it's just like nakakatawa lang just looking back at my rationale. So I would put it in the blacked out category. I think I probably like spent 5,000 in one shopping trip in Taytay, I think. Same with Green Hills. And yung mga nabili ko doon, half of them I don't probably use anymore. I don't even remember because nabuta siya or hindi maganda yung quality. Next one we have here is when I hired this one. This one is a representation of when I hired my editor for my YouTube channel, and it was such a huge relief because I was able to delegate the task that was really time consuming. It would take me like so many hours to edit a video, versus when I started delegating it, I was able to allocate my time better for building my business, for coaching more clients, and it really helped me in stepping into the business owner that I want to be, which is focusing on scaling my business, in scaling my impact for my clients. So this picture in hiring my YouTube editor, I put it in what made me a millionaire. So I feel like if you want to grow your income, you need to learn how to delegate to experts, to people who would help you reduce your time on things that you don't particularly enjoy doing the most. Next here is we have what I want to put. I think I want to do this. Okay, and this is what I'd say is the best decision that made me a millionaire today. And I wanted to put this up front, which is a thumbnail of my recent video. And I wanted this to represent the compilation of all the coaching, the courses, the mentorship, the support that I've gotten from the investments that I've made, which is like 200,000 worth of coaching courses, of mentorship that I've gotten over the past year. And that's really what helped me achieve my first million and, you know, build my 1M net worth today, is because I was willing to ask for help. I was willing to get support from for areas that I'm not great at yet. And I remember when I first started, you know, doing my business, I wanted to make sure that I had the right roadmap, I had the right support in doing that. And I started with the 50,000 worth course. And then eventually, when I really wanted to be serious about being a coach for a long time, that's when I really invested in coaching certifications. I could hone my skills better, which was like 150,000 worth. So this thumbnail where I invested 200,000 worth of coaching, of courses, of mentorship and support, that's what really ultimately helped me build my 1M net worth today, because I had all those skills that I've gained and also the self-awareness, and ultimately that amount that I invested on represented of how serious I am in creating my version of freedom with the coaching business I have today, and how serious I am with making sure that I create life-changing impact with coaching my clients inside my programs. By the way, if you want to learn more about how I coach my clients, you can also check the link in my bio where I dive into that a lot more and get inspired by my clients who have been successful, who are thriving because they are in control of their money as well, where money works for them, where they create their own version of financial freedom. You can check the link in my bio inside my one-on-one coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. Next one we have here is when I hoarded a lot of workout clothes. This picture, this was during the pandemic. So I would put it in I probably knew better phase, because I was just like buying workout clothes every single day. But then that I felt it was very impulsive, although I am using those clothes today because I work out every day, because I realized that I was just using shopping as a distraction from the stress, from the lack of direction in my life then. So I probably knew better. Next one I have here, this picture represents when I bought a low ticket course to start my business. And I never mentioned it on my channel, but I'm mentioning it here. I think it was like $37. And I remember it was like the first thing I bought so that I could start my business. And there's something about if you invest in something low ticket for a big dream that you have, I realized that I wasn't that invested in it because it was a low ticket purchase, versus like when I invested in like the 50,000 worth course, I really took it seriously and took action. That's why it's really important to have skin in the game when it comes to investing in yourself, investing in your dreams, because you really make sure that it works out because you invested time and money on it. So this low ticket course, which was around $37, I put it in the I probably knew better phase. And then change of scenery for this last money decision, because this has really changed everything. If I were to build my savings again from scratch, this decision is a game changer, which is putting your six-figure savings in high interest digital banks such as GSave and Tonic. And this strategy was really a game changer. So if you actually want to learn more about this one, I've dived into it in this particular video with the same thumbnail. If you are planning to build your savings from scratch, this video with all these steps are definitely going to help. So check it out and I'll see you there.